more like a communal
thing.
setup.
Yes.
You know, you have visitors almost every day. Every household has them, and again, the cycle continues. You say hi to them, you make food, you know, for them,
you
and
bring
all
fruits.
that. Yeah, you bring fruits, and and we think sometimes you don't even have to wash it because I mean it's in the rural setting.
They say it has just come from the tree.
It's clean.
Yes, very clean, but it has been contaminated by you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So don't do it. So then I think from this discussion, and not to scare people, because it seems like almost everything then is wrong. You know, from the food, from, you know, handling manure, which we think it's safe, but it's not. You know, to eating, you know, the eating habits, you know, people don't wash, let's say, their fruits and vegetables very well. Of course, eating beef, pork, chicken, fish, anything, you know, and all this seems like there is just something wrong, you know, in there. So very briefly, because I know we talked about some of the complications earlier on, just in case someone tuning in right now and missed that part of discussion, can we go through it very, very briefly, and then we'll talk about then how the prevention part, so that we do not get, and especially for the children, because they're still growing up.
Yeah, they're still growing up. So we talked about complications last week. We said one of the complications is, number one, in terms of the finances, it is very costly. It is very wanting when you develop resistance. That is number one. Number two, you could not only develop antimicrobial resistance, but you could also develop multiple drug resistance. That is now many drugs. Many drugs, when used against that condition, or that organism, or the organism has already developed resistance. So you see, it is also hard to treat multiple drug resistance, and also very costly. Number three, another complication is that it could make the condition that you're having untreatable, totally untreatable, incapacitating you. Maybe you are the breadwinner in your family. Now you become incapacitated. You cannot be able to feed your family. You are in a hospital bed. You have been bedridden, and so on and so forth. Even, you know, this bacteria can bring a condition we call septicemia. That is, the blood is totally infected with the bacteria. Leading to even admission to ICUs. You know. And another complication, the worst, is death, because now it becomes ineffective. You cannot be able to treat the bacteria. So you end up losing a person. You end up losing a breadwinner. You end up losing a child because of antimicrobial resistance. So those are some of the complication. Organ failures. You can get kidney failures, especially the kidney. You can get even some complication like the bladder is infected again and again. The bladder is infected. You get some of the complication of the organ, the bladder, urinary incontinence. Now the sphincter that controls urine is destroyed, is weak. You can't control urine, you see? All those complications. There's so many complications. So many complications. Even if you discuss them organ by organ, there are so many. So you just understand they can lead to organ destruction, organ failures. Yes. Meningitis. Very severe complication. Which is like, yes, when it goes to the brain, you can imagine now. Now you're treating meningitis, which is resistant to antibiotic. Can you imagine? Leading to many complications, including paralysis, memory loss. You become like what we call vegetative state.
You can't do anything because I mean, at the end of the day, the brain is
damaged.
And it's what like you know, does like almost everything. It's like the most important organ, I would say. Because if it's not able then to communicate with the other parts of the body,
then you're dead.
Yeah.
Actually, when the brain dies is when a person dies.
Yes.